Good morning, everyone. This is Ramajan with What is Social Media Today, teaching you how to win the game of social media. Today's topic is the Swiss Army knife approach to marketing and social media marketing. Okay, now you heard me slip in that term marketing without social media marketing, and I really need to drive this point home. If we have a book, if we have a product, if we have a service, we need to talk to people about what we are, who we are, what we're doing. If we don't mention it to people, they will not know. Okay, many times, and it really takes me back to Deb McTiernan, okay? Her first book, Actual Magic, she printed thousands of bookmarks on cardstock, colored cardstock, not fancy. She had Office Max cut them for her, do it for her, had a QR code on it so people had a way of going back to her website because her book was not done yet. And she literally gave out thousands of these bookmarks before the book was even available. Okay, that is marketing. It's not necessarily social media marketing. Lines at coffee shops, lines at the grocery store, lines at Target. All these things are opportunities for us to talk about our book, our service, our products. Okay, we cannot forget this. One of the reasons I used to do the author interviews when I was working for Tom was to get the authors more comfortable talking about themselves, about their book. It's hard at first because we're kind of shy, except for the gal that wrote the Crystal Skull book, Anaria. She was not shy. But everyone else, pretty much I've spoken to, has a little bit of that shyness in them. A little bit of whether it's secretiveness, shyness, whatever it is, I'm not sure. But unfortunately, we do have to step beyond that. Now, I'm working on marketing at the first step here because I really need to drive this point home. There are organizations in our community that we may decide it makes sense to attend meetings. It makes sense to become part of an organization. In Sedona, the Unity Church would be a great spot to get involved with. Very supportive group. I got involved with a mountain bike club, and I never would have if I hadn't written that book. I was done with mountain biking at that point in my life. So there are opportunities here for us. And sometimes we have to bite the bullet a little bit and say, okay, I will do that because I know there's going to be some benefit to me. It's not that I'm doing it because I want to help people completely, although I usually do. Okay, so marketing. Some of you did hear some of my ideas, in the past about having a business card, a bookmark that has your QR codes, a way to get back to your product or service. You've also heard me mention that, hey, if you're in a line in a coffee shop and you've got your phone, you can sign people up to your mailing list in the moment, live. Why would you do such a thing? Well, we all know how we operate. Somebody talks to you, say, I'll do that later. Okay, well, later becomes never, and we don't get them on that mailing list. So there are tools that we can employ that will help get them on a mailing list right away. Get them while the interest is hot. Tell them that you'll give them a free chapter of your book if you come onto the mailing list or something, okay? Okay, so those are marketing. Now, the crux of what we're going to be doing is social media marketing. But remember, the topic is the Swiss Army knife approach. What is a Swiss Army knife? It has all kinds of blades and attachments. And that's the approach to social media that both Catherine and I advocate. We have taught you how to blog. Blogging is great content creation, but it's not the only content creation. Perhaps our clientele isn't interested in reading blogs because they don't read, they scan. Perhaps we're writing about the wrong topic and our audience isn't interested in our topic, okay? Experimentation is really important, gang, and we can see results. Victoria and I were talking this morning before everyone got on board that even though there's no monetary payback, it's pretty darn cool when you post a picture on Instagram to have a like within 30 seconds. I mean, I can't fathom how that's done, but the reality is it's pretty darn cool. And it does give you a level of satisfaction, okay? Sure, it doesn't put money in your pocket, but what it does is it inspires you to see, hey, social media, marketing has potential. Okay, so what do? We post photos, okay? We spent a lot of time talking about using your phone through the Instagram app to post to Facebook and Twitter also. This is really what I call the maintenance dose of social media marketing. A minimum of once a week. Let's post some pictures. Let's go on a little walk in our community. Take a picture of a flower, take a picture of a tree, take a picture of a leaf, a dog, a bug, a building, a shoe. Doesn't matter what, okay? I think sometimes we get a little bit hung up thinking that these photos have to be great. They don't. What they do have to have is your hashtags, okay? They don't have to be great photos, but they do have to be marked. They have to have your scent on them. Otherwise, we are really only posting with one arm tied behind our back. Okay, so using our phone for photos is one part of the Swiss Army knife. It is a critical part. It's a simple part. It's an easy part. And I consider this the maintenance dosage of social media posting. What else do? You write your blogs. If you're an artist, you draw pictures. You create videos. Well, what am I going to create a video about? Read a couple of pages of your book. Talk about your book. Talk about being a human fairy. It doesn't matter what you talk about. Just make it brief and smile and wave and be personable. And the point is that this is a world of content, okay? And let's just say that we're not sure which content is going to pay off for us. So we need to provide a lot of different types of content in order to see what kind of reaction we get from our people. Okay, so photos, blogs, videos. The starting place. Well, this week, I was, looking at things. I was looking at images online, and the images, I did the Google search, put in a topic, hit images, and a lot of Pinterest stuff came up. And, I don't usually go on to Pinterest because I haven't really found an interest in it. But this week I was on Pinterest, and I was looking at photos, and I posted photos. Okay, now I did recognize that those photos didn't get as many likes necessarily as the photos of me on a mountain bike ride. But that doesn't matter to me because there was some interest. You begin to see who your loyal followers are, and you also start to see a new name here or a new name there because you posted something different. Again, use your hashtags. Again, we've talked about renaming photos that we find online to kind of be tagged to our keywords. Okay, so we've kind of talked about a number of different things that we can do to mark things, photos, just to mark them a little bit tighter to who we are. It's an important approach. It does take time. It's probably worth it. Okay, so we've talked about a number of different things. What we've talked about is us being single-minded and posting, but not being interactive. We've talked about the 80-20 rule, 2 80-20 rules, one being 80% of our posts are about fun things, 20% is about our business. We've also talked about 80% of our posts can be programmed. 20% of our time posting should be interactive. And that's where we are. What does interactive mean? Interactive means liking other people's posts and sharing other people's posts and commenting on other people's posts. Interaction, okay? If we do not interact with people, we cannot expect them to interact back to us, okay? This is an important understanding because to some degree, social media is still a little bit of a alien type of thing for many of us. You know, we weren't brought up with social media attached to our hands when we were 9 years old, okay? So it's not as easy for us to comprehend how to interact. But if you watch the younger generation, they are interacting. They're not only posting, okay? Something to think about. So what does that mean? That means like, 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes every other day, 20 minutes a week, some amount of time, we go and we start liking stuff and sharing and commenting, okay? We can do it all in one foul swoop, and that can be all we have to do during the week. Again, we talk about maintenance levels of interaction marketing. And a maintenance level is better than the big goose egg. And I want everyone to understand that. Something is better than nothing. And with that said, that's the end of my presentation. I'm going to stop the recording and we're going to talk.